and you have to wait till after the storm has passed to literally try and get it back on. And she continues going on about it until class finishes, so that will you'll lead into lunchtime, and you can easily go over to lunch. It would be dinner time. Yeah, dinner, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can go over to the mess hall to have dinner, and you can have a chat.
I have to remember where the mess hall is because,
I'm trying to look for it myself, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh.
I will make a
It's
thing for that,
See,
a legend, but
yeah,
opposite side of the classrooms.
Yeah, it seems to be about 3 o'clock.
okay, yeah. I knew it was over there somewhere.
I wasn't gonna make you sit through majority of that class.
I mean, I would have done it. I would have had Cadet Hines just ask a bunch of annoying questions.
I'll sit next to one of my fellow security cadets.
Hines is gonna sit in like a corner away from everyone and be a edgy loner.
DJ's just gonna sit in the middle of everything.
When Soth sees Karava just approach and just sit right next to him, he kind of has to do a sort of like moment of just like don't say anything, just eat your food, and cause no problems.
How's things going, Soft? How'd you enjoy science class?
It was edifying, I suppose. Little confusing on the meteor point. That's new information.
Yeah, a lot of stuff went over my head too. I'm more of a I prefer the engineering kind of stuff.
I must say that as a secondary focus, I do cast my eye in that direction.
She'll notice the Dorian who's sitting the table opposite her, and she'll like gesture for him to come over. How do you enjoy science class?
Not bad. I have a passing interest in science. I'm mostly into security, but science and engineering are secondary interests of mine. How did you enjoy the class?
Mostly went over my head. But I'm trying.
As all we are.
Trying indeed. And then Soth says nothing further after that comment.
Tully would like to walk in with a data pad and try to order some food.
Yeah, you can order food.
All right. I would like to order some fish, please, served piping hot, and a glass of cold water.
I'm not really good at accents. Here goes. Bottoms up. Wait, I'll have it out in 10 minutes.
Well, thank you. I will be back. I would like to take my leave and go sit where the other officers or the other cadets are sitting.
It can be. There's about one group with two Andorians and a Bajoran.
That's the one.
Yep. You sit down with them.
Oh, yeah. Hey, guys. How was science class?
Went well enough, I suppose. Well enough.
Yeah, rocks. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's not as interesting as spaceflight or anything like that, but rocks are important.
Still, on that theme, I'd like to get out and do a little bit more practical exploration of the planet. Even if it is mineral surveys and so forth, the local wildlife certainly has my interest piqued.
Krevel nodded and seemed to agree, but he kind of says that she seems a little nervous about the ones. Like you can see, sort of like a bit of nervousness about when you talk about that, about like that wildlife.
On that note, you see Tobin, the big bird, sitting in there eating fish in the cafeteria.
Wait, you let the big vulture thing that Velik tried to tame sit in the cafeteria and eat food with us?
Yeah?
Okay, just wondered.
Soth will be looking at that then every now and again in a case of, is it going to fly around and start causing a problem? Am I going to have to apply a phaser to it?
It's pretty much chilling, sitting next to DJ, eating. Because Velik's not around.
Soth will make a small comment to Rylos, which is, and it's very much a sort of lowered voice comment. I didn't know we were allowed to have pets.
My response would be kind of an eyebrow raised, and I would concur that it seems a little strange that a cadet would have a pet.
Out of character, I consider it like a more of a mascot. Like it just everyone sees it around a lot. Like you know how when, and I don't know how, but like if you're in an apartment building or in my case in the military and you're on a base and you always see the same fucking cat everywhere, like eventually it's just gonna end up in someone's barracks or like in the mess hall and people just treat it like it's another soldier, just like whatever. That's kind of how I looked at it, but. It's up to Mac at the moment to decide if Velik or
that's how I was saying it as a mascot for you guys.
So out of character, let me ask a question real quick because I assume this is carried over from the game I missed. Is this a local animal or is this an animal we brought with us?
Local.
Okay.
So it's a local animal, so it's gonna become like a mascot for the academy.
And it's a vulture or a vulture-like creature?
Yeah.
I'll post a picture I found.
Yes.
Okay.
No symbolism about the Federation there.
Well, I'm wondering if it eats dead things or if it's, if it's a predator type bird or if it's just a carrion eater. That's kind of a cool picture, actually.
I seem to recall it ate a very large fish.
Yeah, it ate a very large. It ate like a 4-foot long shark, I think, or shark-like creature. But yeah, so
it was alive when it got it.
Yeah, so the wingspan of this thing is like a human spreading out its arms. So it's pretty
6
big,
feet, so
roughly 5 or 6 feet. Yeah. But it seems friendly to you guys, to people. It also it has the look of a vulture, but like the colorful plumage of like a parrot or something. And everyone by this time, I think, knows that it can mimic voices as like a parrot as well.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. It would have been mimicking Velik a lot.
Yeah, I think last game I said, I'm only half Romulan. I'm only half Romulan.
It continues saying, I'm only half Romulan. I'm only half Romulan.
And you
That's good
guys,
stuff.
would notice that Cadet Hines is kind of walked out of the. Actually, I scrolled too far somewhere. The mess hall, and kind of is sitting on the grass just outside one of the doors, staring out at the force field / basically past the force field at the trees, the forest. Just kind of sitting there eating peacefully on his own outside. Nothing relevant there.
So, okay, another out of character question. This force field, is it a biodome to keep out bad atmosphere, or is it protective against aggressive whatever?
I think they specifically said a force field to protect as well, because they said they wanted to build a wall, and I was like, well, a force field would be way more futuristic and cooler and all that.
Right,
good
but if
stuff.
we go out into the environment, do we need environment suits and all that?
Oh no, no. This is just
No,
like I
no.
said, to protect you guys from.
So it's a Class M. It's a Class
M
planet.
planet. Yep.
Okay, got it.
Unless you go
Although-
back to our original site that we tried to build at, that place is toxic.
Yeah.
Don't go for a swim.
Well, it is now.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
it
can
is
thank
now.
DJ.
Thank DJ for that one.
Thank DJ for finding that in the first few days, because if you didn't find out in the first few days and you were like years into this, you'd been like, we didn't know that.
Soth will continue to have a conversation, principally with Rylos. He doesn't actively say, go away, Karava, but he gives, shall we say, polite but conversation-ending responses to Karava when Karava ever says something to him, and otherwise has a conversation with Rylos.
I'd say she doesn't notice that.
Well,
That's right.
my character would just, kind of eat and continue eating and maintain polite conversation with both Soth and Karava, just out of courtesy more than anything else. Pass the time. While he's keeping an eye on the bird.
Yeah. So, does anybody else walk into the mess hall?
Not at this present time. It's just other cadets.
Oh, so I am in the mess hall. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably just get some food and try to ignore the bird.
Yep.
Are there any sort of nearby large hills or mountains?
Yeah, you're not too far from a hill, which is, if I bring you over to the...
Wasn't the hill where the toxic minerals were found? Or,
Yes.
Because didn't we move for that specific reason?
I think that was to the north. I
Okay.
don't know about what's to
okay.
the south.
There's the hill peak. Not too far.
Okay. Is it enough of a peak to be considered a challenge if you were to go up there, or just a pleasant stroll?
We haven't figured that. Infamous, is that a challenge or not?
Sorry, I was doing audio stuff. What was the question?
The hill peak.
What? How
Is
far
it a casual stroll? Is it a casual stroll or?
So
One?
I think we
This
said it
one
was
right
what,
here.
5 or 10 kilometers per hex. Do y'all remember? One of those. I think it's 5.
This is
I think it's 5.
What I'm getting at is Soth is trying to think of more group activities that also involve being outdoor and exploring things, and so a suitably tall geographic feature to go hike up with everybody and find and discover things, but also go for a nice long hike. And I'm just assessing whether or not this would be a proper mountainous expedition, or if this is just a more normal walk, or what the grade of terrain, as it were.
So basically, where the yellow is, where the force field is, that's kind of like the beginning of a hill, and then I would say by the time you get to like the proper gray, that's more of kind of like the highest, or higher, I should say, point of the hill peak. So basically, as long as it depends how, the risks you want to take. Because obviously if you wanted to walk like all the way across the top of the hill, you're getting pretty far away from the base, which is
force field.
So, but like you could take like a 30-minute hike up the hill and then back down the hill. That's probably no problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it's a short, easy walk. Okay.
Well, I mean, I would say it depends on, if you want to do the whole hill, then no, it's not. I don't think it would be that easy, because look at the size of the buildings compared to the hill. That's a pretty big hill. So if you want to do the whole hill, then yeah, it's going to be like a day or so, maybe even spending the night on that hill. But I would say if you
sounds like it's more of a mountain than a hill.
I mean, if you guys want to say it's a mountain, we could say it's a mountain. But either way, it's the distance, the number of hexes is like 3.5. So that's compared to the size of your camp. That's a pretty decent sized distance of hiking. Like I said, if you just want to walk up the hill for 30 minutes and come back, that's a way you could do it. Or if you want to make it a journey, walk to the other side of the hill peak and then come back, or however you want to do it is fine. Basically, it's up to you how far you want to go. There's no real,
Well, yeah. Soth will just say to Shrell then, that hill just to our west borders on a mountain, though not quite a proper one. It seems like a very interesting piece of terrain. What would you say to gathering a few volunteers together and going for a 2-day trek out to the other side, get familiar with the local terrain, and get a bit of the local air in our lungs?
That sounds like a good time. Good hike, good exercise. Yeah, I'm up for it. Survival training.
I'll put forward something to the instructors, see if we can get something organized.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. Carver says, and she just starts to look away.
Oh, don't worry, Soth will say. He has a sort of veneer of comfort, but he kind of can guess why you're concerned. And we'll say, those wolf-like creatures aren't going to be that bad. Besides, it'll give us an opportunity to see if they're nocturnal.
I guess.
He's got a slightly malicious grin.
Yeah, Shrell's kind of grinning in a mischievous kind of way too, picking up that he's kind of setting up Karava for a kind of a joke, I guess, about this trip.
So
I guess Cadet Hines will go with you if he happens to see you guys leaving. He'll just follow kind of behind. Where are you guys going? Depending on when you leave and all that.
basically, if it goes up to Runa, she would definitely pass it over to the security instructor. Do that.
Yeah, Soft will, during a moment in between lectures, he'll submit that proposal to Runa.
So you said the meal time was at dinner, right? So basically the sun is about to set. Is that what you're getting at?
Yep.
Okay.
So if you did propose it to Runa, she'll definitely go over and ask the security security instructor. And knowing that he does all the physical, strenuous, like survival stuff, she'll definitely ask him.
So I have a question for you, Mac. Usually, the GMs, no matter who it is, handles all the instructors.
Yeah.
Do you want me to handle any of the instructors, or do you want to just handle all the instructors?
I think the security one is yours.
Okay.
If you wanna.
I will do that then. I think the security instructor, whose name is me looking it up, PC instructor, no, NPC instructors.
It's Dufresne, I think.
Dufresne, yeah, Terrace Dufresne. He will definitely suggest starting tomorrow morning. You know, maybe 6 in the morning, a nice early wake up. And probably not at night though, just because you guys are probably only been like 2 weeks. You're still getting used to like the terrain and the weather and the everything else. So maybe start like right as the sun is rising, and that probably would be the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Because like if you guys as cadets are just gonna be like fuck class, we're just gonna go take a walk. That won't work too well. But also, if you want to do it after class, which obviously the sun is going to start going down probably like an hour after class. Yeah, I mean, you could do that if you want to do it on a more recreational basis, but don't expect no help from the security instructor.
Yeah.
Doing it as a sort of class seems like a sensible way forward, and Soth will begin packing his bag in eager anticipation.
As does Sherelle.
Crabble will as well.
Okay.
And she'll ask Hines, does he want to come along as well?
Oh, I mean, he scratches his head. Yeah, sure. I guess so. No, thanks for asking. That means a lot to me. Yeah. Hey, Philo, are you coming? He kind of looks over to the Orion.
You guys going on a walk?
I guess I like a hike. Like a hike tomorrow morning. I know Orion's sleep in a lot, but
yeah,
maybe you could make an exception for this one. Sorry, didn't mean anything by it.
Yeah, sure, I'll join. Yeah, I can scan the terrain. I can map out the terrain. I mean,
Cool.
What's another second pair of eyes, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, absolutely. So it looks like we're all down for it.
Yep. Runa says we are going to be starting at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Be up and prompt and ready.
Are you coming with us?
At the bottom of the
Hines asks. He asks Runa if she's coming with him.
Of course. You're going to need an instructor.
Well, I mean, I just assume the security instructor, but obviously you're a science officer, so you'd want to come and investigate the science-y stuff. He kind of face palms himself. Yeah. Oh, why did I say
that? She goes, I am going to be coming up to do some research on the local environment, but the security instructor will be coming up as well.
Makes sense. Yes, sir. Makes sense, sir.
Just in case, because there are wolves around.
And shark-eating birds, just saying.
If they can eat sharks, they can eat us.
Yeah.
You mean our new mascot?
Yeah, he's our mascot now, Hines says, but you just wait till he's hungry and a little bit upset, and our mascot will turn into our death Scott.
His docile nature is limited by his hunger.
Cadet Hines.
Sothel. No, please carry on.
I was just going to say, Cadet Hines just, having been a science cadet and having studied some of the creatures, he'd be like, well, honestly, the vulture, or whatever it is, it seems to only eat dead things, but this particular vulture likes to make sure that it does the causing of the death to ensure that its food is properly dead. So as long as we make sure that the vulture knows that we're not going to die, and then it should be fine. I hope.
It'll be fine.
Maybe we should bring a medical cadet along as well. I think South South Pole, Snow Pole.
Yes.
No, that's what Gravel will say. Maybe we should ask Snow Pole to come along as well.
Yep.
More the merrier. Also, it's notable that Soth, as well as having food, water, basic medical supplies, etc., the kind of stuff that you'd expect for a relatively long hike, building on his activities on the zoo planet, you notice that he also brings some gear that might be useful for a hunt. He won't wander out with the Type 3 phaser unless one's given to him, but it's stuff that could conceal his scent because he's aware that the wolves are out there. One or two things that are in very tightly packed bottles but that could be used as bait or lures, etc., etc. He's clearly prepared for the wolves, but it's you're not quite sure whether this is to evade them or go after them. You don't quite know unless you ask him.
You notice that DJ is packing his pack as well to go on the hike.
The security instructor is going to issue everyone a Type 1 phaser that is only set to maximum stun. It cannot kill. Unless you, shoot a mouse or something. That'll probably kill it. But, a human or a humanoid, it won't kill them.
Fair enough. Is this something where an artificial limiter has been put on it? So in theory, Soth is not proposing to do this.
Yeah.
But in theory, you could get in there, take off the limiter, and it would become lethal again.
I'm going to say no. It cannot become lethal because in the military, when we train with real weapons and we use blanks, it's physically possible. If you put the barrel of the weapon to someone's head and pull the trigger, it'll kill them. But if you just shoot at them from 20 feet away, it's not going to do anything. So basically, that's kind of what this is. This is if a creature is on top of you, then you could probably get it off of you. But there's no way to really make it kill anything, unless you set it up to explode. But in that case, you're probably already about to face war crimes or something anyway. So
yeah, it's not. It's a completely different charge pack. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as an Andorian, I always have my Yushan Tor with me, so if I need to get lethal, I can still melee him.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So that takes you a couple of hours, right up to bedtime, and basically, he's getting ready to go to bed tonight.
I'm gonna say before she goes to bed, Krav will be working on her phaser Colt gun project. That she does in the spare time. So should I just roll engineering something else?
That will be control engineering.
Okay, cool. Yep.
You're slowly making headway, but it's gonna be taking you a bit of time. More time.
Okay, cool, thank you.
And what are you doing, did you say? What would you say you were doing?
Oh, that's basically Krava's project she's been working on since year one. She wants to make a Colt, a phaser, a Colt handgun in the shape of a phaser in the shape of a Colt handgun.
So basically, it's a phaser that looks like a firearm.
Yeah, but the idea is she wants to make it as mechanical as possible. So like, she wants to make it like like as much of a cult as possible, just with internal mechanisms and all that, but
Well,
with phases and
I mean,
stuff.
I'm not Gene Ronbetter, but I'm pretty sure the extent of the mechanical aspect is going to be the trigger, and the rest of it is going to have to be electrical, considering how phasers work. But again, I didn't
Yeah,
invent phasers, but I'm just saying that's
basically.
how I think it would go. But anyway, that's
Basically
cool.
like that. The idea is each bullet, like each cylinder would have like a phaser battery, like like a little battery in it, and so when she shoots it, it is a different battery.
That's cool. I want that.
So it's a 6-shot phaser, is what you're saying.
Basically.
Oh my word!
So he's trying to make a really ineffective phaser, basically. The least efficient phaser invented.
Basically.
Yep.
It's a collector's piece. That's what it is.
All right.
Yep, he is. What is everyone else doing before bed?
I'm just packing gear, making sure my Ushan Tor is sharpened up. Little light reading on the terrain before we leave, just to be familiar with it.
Yep.
And I am doing the exact same thing because I am a Andorian, so I should have like the Andorian knife.
Yep.
Tyler just making sure his scanner's ready.
Good.
Yukina's taken her bag that she had brought with her before that was questioned at one point, placing it over the bed so that it opens up before she lays down on it. It's actually a charging station for her prosthetics, that's cybernetics that she has to use.
Yep.
And Cadet Hines is completely not going to prepare. He is going to go straight to sleep an hour early, and then when he wakes up, he's going to be completely unprepared, and he's probably going to be shouting in his sleep something about cousin Hilda coming for breakfast and not wanting to walk down to the beach with her. He's weird. Don't worry about him.
The more you say "don't worry about him," the more I worry about him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The counselor is not here.
Yeah. You all go to bed.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Can you all roll me in insight security?
Everybody or just somebody specific?
Everyone.
Everyone? Insight and security?
Yep.
Well, this is a good sign.
What's the
A
difficulty?
4 and a 6 for Tully.
I'm not gonna tell you the difficulty.
Okay. In that case, I'll just. There we go. 3.
Would perception be a good focus?
Yes. Okay, Kara is... She's still dead asleep to the world. Cadet, Shell, yeah, he's still sleeping. And same as Snowball. Philo and Haynes and Doth.
Heinz.
Haynes
Like the
and Tal.
ketchup, not the underwear.
You basically wake up and hearing howling.
Cousin Hilda, get away from my plates! Wait, what?
That's not too unusual, but carry on.
Basically, but you also notice that DJ, when you wake up, you look at the door, you notice DJ sitting right in front of the door, and the doors aren't opening.
Okay. Soth will spin around in his bed before he gets out of the sheets to sort of look out of whatever little window might be near his head. Is the force field active?
You look out, and you notice that nothing. For some strange reason, you don't hear the hum of anything on.
Yeah, this may not be the appropriate phrase, correct me if it isn't, but yeah, Soth will just call out at a loud enough volume to wake up everyone in the barrack. Alarm!
By the way, Mac, I'm waiting.
Force field failure!
By the way, Mac, I'm waiting for a cue because I have some audio, but if you don't say what happens, I can't use the audio. So just let me know if I need to do the audio.
But you also see static electricity coming into the atmosphere. And you notice that the wolves you originally heard are actually in the academy.
Yep, definitely calling out alarm at a loud enough volume to rouse everybody. Alarm! Force field failure! Wolves likely inside the perimeter.
Philo, since this guy's tricorder there, can you scan real quick?
Your tricorder isn't working.
Oh, that's my luck, really.
So it's an ion storm, basically. Must be an ion storm.
Which means
roll in a insight science.
All of us or somebody specific?
You. If you're thinking it's ion storm, I want to see if you C L. It's shell.
Yeah, I rolled.
Yeah. Insight science. Yep. You think back, and you automatically realize that, oh wait, this is an iron storm. We were just talking about, Runa was talking about this earlier.
From what Runa said in the lecture, did she mention that they pass naturally with time, and did she give any kind of time frames for what that might be?
Sometimes it passes over a few hours or a couple of days. Because you don't know specifically how this is actually interacting with the planet and how long it will be. And you think it automatically, it's gonna pass over a few hours by the look of it.
Okay. And do we only hear the sound of wolves, or do we also hear the sounds of people in distress?
Only wolves. everyone seems like other people in the building still, and the wolves aren't able to get into the building.
Okay. Well, Soth will turn to all of the people who are in the barrack room and say, well, I recommend, since there don't appear to be any immediate signs of distress, that if we can access the roof safely, we do so, just to keep an eye on things. But other than that, sit, wait for the storm to pass, wait for power to be restored, and then, once we have all our equipment functional, clear out the base.
I would suggest maybe, that sounds like a good plan, but maybe we should just make sure all the doors are secured. There's no openings.
Not to make things worse, as Snowpaw tries to move, I'm kind of stuck here.
Is somebody going to look at his if the
Oh, I was going to ask, would I be awake at this point?
Oh yeah, you would have heard Soth say something, yell out.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone who was asleep is automatically awake because they would have heard Soth.
Okay. Yeah. You just notice Carava's just sort of shaking a little bit at the sounds of the wolves, basically.
I think Sorrel would be armed with a Zushan Tor and be standing near a door in case it pops open and a wolf tries to come through.
As would Tully.
Insight, security. No, insight's engineer. Anyone who's at the door, sitting out the door.
A 7 and a 1.
I'd be. Oh, sorry.
Basically, you. Yeah, basically, you two and DJ notice that the doors are locked shut. Basically, they haven't been able to get in to the buildings, and they're scratching all over the buildings because they don't know how to get in.
Is there a mechanical way to lock the door besides just in case the power comes on, the door snaps open?
Is there like a blast door or something? Like
a latch or some way of securing the door?
You're talking about manual override.
Yeah.
Yeah. It should be behind a panel beside the.
Normally, it's a panel just below the access spot.
Then I would try to lock down the manual override so that the door would have to be open manually when the power comes back on, rather than automatically.
You would automatically know where it is, just in case of emergencies like this situation.
And when Heinz sees you try to lock the door manually, he says, well, what if we can't get out and people forget about us?
Very unlikely.
And in that situation, we can simply undo the manual lock from within.
Yep.
Or climb up to the roof and rappel off the roof to the ground.
I see.
You get a good view on the rooftop of the Ion Storm.
Are there small windows that are nowhere near the ground that are too small for a wolf to get through in this building?
There's no windows near the ground unless the engineering team actually did decide to make a window right near the ground.
The reason being is just so Soth's looking for something that he can open that a wolf isn't going to be able to get through, so he can hear what's going on outside with a greater degree of accuracy. If that's not possible, that's fine.
You should.
Okay.
What's the what's the description of the weather? I mean, is it raining? Is it what has the ion storm done to the atmosphere besides just these discharges?
Basically, the particle effect has changed the environment a bit for the duration it's been here. And the wolves, when they're generally, you've seen them the last couple of days, they've been more hiding in the woods, keeping away from you guys. But since the iron storm's been here, they've been bold enough to actually come into the academy.
They're bold enough to come into the academy, or they're seeking shelter from the storm?
They're actually bold enough to come into the academy to look for bigger prey. Does anyone want to hop onto the roof or not?
I can't move.
What?
I'm gonna say sorry.
With Yukina's immobility, is it just the arm or is it the legs as well?
No, I can move my legs. The problem is I set myself up to charge for the night, so I'm locked into the charging unit because everything's powered down. So I can't get out of bed either.
Is there some manual release?
There's most likely. Everything tends to have that. But I can't move my arms, I can't manually release them either.
Yeah. So Soth will look for the manual release, and whilst he's doing that, we'll make a comment, something along the lines of, "This isn't safe in the event of a fire," or some such. We should get this redesigned.
I wasn't expecting an ion storm. We're normally protected on ships and whatnot.
Is Cadet Johnson still by the door, or is he moved somewhere else?
He's still by the door.
I think Heinz.
I'm gonna say, Crop. Sorry.
I was just gonna say Heinz is gonna go over there and ask him, like, why were you? Because I imagine the insight roll that we just did kind of woke us up, and those who woke up saw him by the door. Is that right?
Yep.
He's gonna ask him why he was by the door before they noticed anything. Like, why was he there, basically?
Oh, I don't barely sleep it. Anyway, I heard the wolves. And I just sat near the door because I was wondering if they were coming through the door or not.
I see.
Quite funny enough. You notice that he actually looks more robotic. When you look at him, he's more robotic. But if you're a bit further away from him, he looks humanoid.
A flower.
So it looks. It's strange that you've been told he's an android, and he's not affected.
That is strange, because the ion storm would at least have some kind of effect on him if we don't have a shield to protect him. Does anyone have a tricorder? Oh wait, I'm a science cadet. He just pulls out a tricorder from like his bag that he didn't prepare and scans the android.
Does your tricorder work? Mine's not working.
Oh, does our tricorders die too? Oh shit.
Yep.
Does our phasers die too?
All electronics are inoperable.
Oh damn, I didn't know
what we're
Okay.
That's why I'm running around with a Andorian toothpick in my hand.
That's why I was trapped to the bed.
Yeah, okay. or basically ion storms affect all systems, like literally shuts all the systems down.
Gotcha. I thought it was just like the main power system, power generator or something.
Yeah, it was weird as when I was reading through it, and I'm like, that's strange.
Yeah.
And
Oh, well.
do you know how to compensate?
He
gonna
just
Since I know the system I'm laying, and I'll guide him through on how to manually unlock it.
he looks at
Probably
you
that,
tricorder.
but-
Yeah, he looks at finds his tricorder. He opens the bottom up and double taps it. Then tries to he twists his hand to take off his hand, and then puts it into a piece of his hand where his wrist is, and let it charge a little bit, and actually put it back in and give it to you, and you have a working tricorder. Mine does.
Does it continue to work once it's been taken out of his body?
Yes. There's enough charge to do a scan.
Okay, as he scans him, he's gonna ask him, is any of your systems affected? Like, are you able to, like, yeah, is any of your systems affected?
And you just say he puts his wrist back on, and you notice that he does not have a android brain. Quite funny enough, it's actually everything's connected up to a gem.
And nobody knew this. Oops. Okay. And nobody knew this prior to now, right? I'm just making sure my GM knowledge and my player knowledge is not mixing. Okay. So yeah, Heinz just stares at the now functioning tricorder as he scanned him, and is just like, huh? What? He looks up to Johnson. And he's like, you know, you got a rock in your head.
Oh, the precious gem. Oh yeah, that's my brain. That's what makes all my systems work. I'm not built like the other androids, so I have personality and everything. I have a living soul.
He just nods and like very slowly, and it's like, okay, you know, anybody else here don't have a brain? Just wondering, because we probably should have known that we were living with an android that doesn't have a positronic matrix or, you know, a neurological brain. Just saying.
The higher ups, the higher ups knew of me because I was actually founded in a ship, or actually in a captain's brain, and they did a few experiments on me and actually woke me up. I was able to run their ship, but I'm still learning, so I don't know much about. I've been downgraded a lot.
I see.
That's fascinating, but in our immediate situation, this revelation and what you just did brings two immediate questions. One, that tricorder is still working even though it has now been removed from your body, which means that the ion storm is not affecting systems that have power. It's taken out all the power, but if we can power a system, it'll work, because otherwise that would have stopped working the moment it disconnected from your body. Good to know.
Yep.
Secondly, if you've got a gem brain, and I'm not going to get into the physics of that, the rest of your body is still android, however. It's still mechanical and electrical, and all of that is relatively normal android construction, from what I can tell. Why are you not a conscious brain trapped in an immobile body in this ion storm.
As you ask him that, Heinz is gonna scrutinize the tricorder readings a bit more. I'll let Mac answer if she wants, or if Johnson wants.
Basically, Johnson goes, well, the storm did affect me for a few seconds, but I was able to overcome it.
And
How?
The gem in my brain actually actually fixed up all the systems.
I'd like to walk over
Is the
and
gem
my arms are hanging.
Is the gem also a power source as well as your personality and intellectual matrix?
Yeah. There's a lot of uses for what it does, but mainly it's my soul and my very essence and the power source to my... I can walk around.
I'm actually detecting, and I know, Snowball, you want to say something, but I just want to say this just so that it may kind of explain a bit more. But basically, Heinz looks at the tricorder and he says, the electromagnetic field coming from this so-called gem brain is about the same strength as the ion storm itself. I have no doubt that this Cadet Johnson can contend with such electronic surges. Now, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, that throws out what I was going to ask you to check to see if possibly, because we're all talking about how electricity and all the energy gets
I'll give
cut
you a
and
10-minute
pulled.
break.
But you have to remember, us as biological beings also have a bioelectric current that runs through us, but yet we are still functioning. I was going to say, why don't you see if the gem is also producing a similar type of energy? Because that energy does not seem to be affected by the ion storm. Because we're all everybody went quiet.
I was gonna ask, can I roll to see if my character, because Shady, she's terrified. Could I roll to see if she can like gain composure to do things?
You there, Mac?
Mac has stepped away.
Okay.
She said
Right.
something about a 10-minute break and then disappeared.
She must be dealing with home stuff. I know how that is.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I know how that is.
But yeah, basically, I kind of know a little bit about how his brain, quote unquote, works.
Yeah.
But I'll let you finish, Mac. I was just filling the time.
Yeah. Basically, if you... So what do you want to do now?
I was gonna ask, can I roll to see if my my character's terrified? I was gonna roll. Can I ask? Could I roll to see if she has like the composure to do anything?
Yeah. There'll be
Okay.
control. Man.
Yep. Okay. One success.
Basically, you needed two to get.
Okay. Yep. I'd say she hasn't gotten worse, but she's just sort of just standing there frozen.
Yeah.
Heinz
was
will
a little
walk
jealous.
over.
Can you check his back order again?
You can get Heinz's tricorder if you want.
No. He just wants to see if his works.
Oh, basically, if you ask DJ to power it for a bit, he'll do it for you.
Can I walk over and say, yeah, can you charge my tricorder? I don't like being blind.
Yeah, I can do that. And he does it for you.
Oh, cool. Way better. Thank you.
Hey,
And
Vilo.
you did.
Sorry, I was just gonna say if Philo wants to
Yeah.
go to one end of the barracks and scan the outside, and I'll scan the other side, and we could see like how many wolves are out there, if there's any people out there, and basically see, if there, see what we can see essentially.
Absolutely. I'll take this side of the building, and you take that, and we'll meet in the middle.
Did somebody go up top already?
Not yet. That was going to be the next thing I did. But
Oh, because my suggestion would be see if you might be able to contact somebody from above if anybody else is getting on top of buildings too.
what is the roof access situation? Is there just a ladder up there? Or are we going to have to climb out of a window and haul ourselves up?
It should have a. I'm hoping engineering
Access port?
doesn't. Yeah. Usually, if they're building bases like this, they should have an access panel to get to the roof.
All right. Roofwood ho.
I'll follow Soth up to the roof.
As well as I.
Grappa just stays down. She doesn't move.
Are you okay, Karava? Hines asks as he's scanning.
She'll just like stare at him, looking terrified.
Are you scared of rainstorms?
She might say, she'll just shake her head, like just barely.
Do we have an empath around here?
I think they're chipped at the moment.
I could scan Karava, see if there's any. I don't think I'm gonna find anything if it's emotional. So, but I could scan it and see.
Oh shit. We chipped because of the sickness, the one individual. All electronics are down. The chip's not functioning anymore.
Basically, DJ just looks over everything, and he goes, "What's wrong?"
Like she just tries to speak, but she's just sort of like, the wolves, I guess.
Well, unless they got some titanium fangs, they're not getting through the bulkheads. Hines says.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I roll? Can I roll again and see if she'll sort of gain some more composure or something?
Yep.
Alright, I'll roll again.
You know what? I'll let you have this one. You've been talking to people, and I've seen pretty low rolls today, and I'm like, no, you can have this. I'm letting you have it.
Just start to calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
And and I guess she'll thank him, and she'll just sort of try to climb onto the roof.
Yeah.
I'll shout upwards. Good luck. Don't get eaten, and then go back to scanning.
Yeah.
While you're scanning, I'm going to come up to you and mention about if this iron storm has knocked everything out, we also need to pay attention to everybody's emotions because of the incident on the ship. That means his chip's not working, and then if that sickness is still in him, it could affect everybody again.
Are you asking Heinz this, or are you telling Heinz this?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
Yeah.
this might be me as a player / GM, but he's gonna turn to you and be like, "What are you talking about?" Because I don't remember what you're talking about.
On the way over here, we had an individual who we had to chip due to his alien physiology
The
and
Betazoid.
Betazoid.
Yeah.
Due to that, because he had a Betazoid type sickness, and we didn't know how it was going to affect, but it affects everybody's emotions.
Right.
If the Iron Storm effect takes out all anything that deals with electronics and whatnot during its time frame, it means that chip's no longer functioning at the moment. And if his sickness is still in play, it can affect everybody still.
Well, the ship was way more compact than you guys are at the moment. You guys have way more room spread out over the campus. So as long as he's not like within a couple, like if he's not in the barracks with you, so you guys should be fine.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, no, you're good. He's an ensign. He ain't gonna be in the barracks with you. So as long as he's not in the barracks with you, you should be fine. And more than likely they've probably already found a more permanent cure anyway.
Hopefully.
Just because out of character, I don't want to readdress that issue in the future again.
Put it this way.
At least I didn't forget about it.
Yeah, that is good. But for the moment, we don't have to worry about it.
Put it this way. You don't know if he... you don't know what's going on with him, so it's all good.
Yeah, he could be murdering your fellow instructor, your fellow cadets right now. You have no idea.
Actually, they could all be murdering each other at the moment because of it.
Yep, or falling in love with each other, or all kinds of things.
Cowering in a corner because nobody loves them.
Yeah, it's Event Horizon all over again.
Yes. Well, let's hope they're able to contact somebody from up there. And hopefully nobody tries to go down onto the ground floor.
Yeah,
Do we have our Type 1 phasers at this point? Or would we have been issued them as we were leaving for the hike?
it would have been issued them as you're leaving for the hike.
So other than the Andorian knives we basically have no weapons.
No weapons.
Okay.
Because they
I was going to suggest maybe charging some phasers, but
yeah, they usually put them in the armory and leave them there.
Yep.
Might I suggest that maybe we should go down and try to see if our instructors are okay?
Well, we don't know what the situation is yet. Let's wait until we have the scenario described to us once we get to the roof.
Okay, when you're exiting the building through the roof, you oversee that there's no one out. Obviously, either they got into buildings or security. There was probably a changeover in shifts that it occurred. I think, and if the changeover of shifts actually happened, it was just by chance that they got lucky on that account.
There'd still be people out, because the people who were on shift wouldn't leave until their relief came.
Yeah.
And you can assume either they... Oh, wait, I'm not up there. I can't say anything. Never mind.
And no one's out at the present time.
Yeah, if an ion storm knocked down the force field, I imagine everyone would be running for cover. Considering we have like
Yeah.
maximum less than 100 people on this campus, I don't think anyone's gonna brave the wolves. I wouldn't.
No,
Yeah,
but if we're up on the
Yeah.
roof, can we see people in other buildings and maybe use hand signals to communicate with them?
Yes, you can see some of the security actually in other buildings who were on duty.
Would they have noticed us up on the roof?
Not yet.
So then how do we get their attention would be the next thing.
We can start with the classic of waving your arms around a lot.
Yeah. Over here, over here.
It'll bring every wolf to us, but it'll bring every wolf to us if we yell. We can start with just flailing but silence.
Right, yeah, no, I'm not making loud noises, right, I get that. But if we're up on the roof, the wolves can't get to us anyway unless there's an outside stair to the roof, which I don't know why there would be.
This is
They wouldn't
soft,
be.
maybe now. Hang on, there would be.
No.
Oh,
I'm hoping
I
she
wouldn't do
said
that
there
to you.
wouldn't be. Yeah, all right, good.
It wouldn't be. No, no. I wouldn't do that to you.
okay.
Hey.
I'm starting to get the beginnings of a truly stupid yet wonderful plan. Which is that we know that electronic devices will work again if they're repowered, which means that the ion
Hey.
storms. What?
You can control security.
Okay.
People on the roof.
Control security. What is this about, just in case I have a relevant focus, and also what's our momentum situation? Because we've done a lot of rolls, but I don't know the difficulty for any of them.
So far, I counted 5 momentum, but I kind of lost track about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, yous will be at 5 momentum.
Okay.
And would this
So-
be a survival thing? Because I have a focus in survival.
No.
Mind right now.
Okay.
What is it,
Oh.
just in case? Because we've got all sorts of things.
I'm not those guys can't say.
You have like athletics.
Oh, I have that.
No.
I'm gonna also use a momentum because I might need extra dice if I'm rolling terribly.
I doubt it because I just rolled double ones.
Wonderful.
And this
What
is a
the
control-
difficulty?
Control and security?
A difficulty 2.
Oh, thank you.
Athletics, I would have thought was fitness.
It is fitness.
It depends on what the task roll is.
Okay. Edge for Soth makes it. Guy makes it, and Tully, your character actually makes it, and you get 2 momentum to the 2 extra momentum. But all of a sudden, you don't know what it is. But a bit of the wind actually knocks Shell off the building.
Oh, it's hurricane level storm. Okay.
It was a very, very powerful
Freak
gust of
wind.
wind.
Yeah, just a freak of wind just happened.
Okay, I have a plan, but first of all, what does Shrell land in?
What does Shrell do?
Well, he's going to try and land as softly as he can once he falls off the building, somersault to the ground type of thing, and then immediately come up in a combat stance, prepared to defend himself if a wolf comes around the corner. Does that require a roll of some sort to see if I succeed at landing?
Yes.
Daring and security, maybe?
I reckon daring and security.
And difficulty?
I was gonna put it as 2.
And I want to spend a momentum and get an extra die?
Yep. You got plenty of momentum, so yep.
Yep. Alright, so and this would probably be a focus for survival, right?
Yes.
Alright, so I'm gonna use the focus. And here's my roll. Oh, that's not good.
Okay.
You could spend a momentum to try and re-roll that complication.
Yeah. Or just to negate the complication with momentum, right?
You could do that. That is safer. It's 2 to just outright negate it. Okay.
Yeah, let's just outright negate it with 2 momentum.
Good. Because if you kept it, I would have been rolling some damage die to see how bad either one of your legs gets injured.
Are there wolves immediately where he's landed?
Yes. I'm gonna give you. I'm gonna say it's only 1. Because I'm not gonna be an arsehole by saying it's multiple.
I would.
Okay, I think I just discovered who my favorite GM is going to be from now on.
Like so excited.
Because I know if I did like 1, if there was like 2 or 3 characters that fell off, I would have been like, yeah, there's a few around yous. But because it's only 1, I'm just like, this could go either way and go really horrible, and I don't want that to happen. Yeah. I don't want to kill off a character without discussing with the person.
Shel's going to have to deal with that wolf, but he might see Soth sort of mime frantically the stay there gesture, and he will disappear out of sight, and he will eventually, there will be a wolf fight in the interim, I imagine, but he will eventually reappear with his pack that he had prepared for tomorrow, and he will do things, but there's a more immediate crisis that needs to be dealt with.
Yep.
Carava's going to use her determination and her value, leave no one behind, and she's going to jump down.
Okay.
But she's freaking out. She's flashing back to her friend who was killed in a wild animal years ago.
Really? What?
And she's like freaking out.
That's crazy. That's a crazy coincidence.
Yeah. Look at my value. Yeah, leave no one behind. And that's for that. And she's just gonna jump down. But she doesn't want him to die.
As you're seeing this wolf, you normally the wolves you normally see in the around, been type tame in every way. But when you actually see this one in front of you, it's more feral, and it doesn't like run away at the start it used to. So something, the storm must be affecting them in a different way.
So what you're saying is normally they're tame or a little bit shy around people,
Yeah.
but this storm is heightened their feral nature and they're more aggressive.
I wonder where that vulture went.
Yeah,
Well,
so far,
also
our past
that-
experiences. Sorry, please, Matt, carry on.
Basically, that vulture's over with the teachers, so it's not being a.
Probably pecking out their eyes.
And for sure, our past experience with the wolves was they were sort of watching us from a distance or, lurking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It like right now they aren't lurking; they're more like
hunting.
I'm going to be in your face and yomp on you.
Yeah, like they're hunting.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I have my Ushan Tor in front of me in a defensive posture, ready to either be attacked or to initiate attack, depending on what happens next.
Crawford's got goblin mode. She's going in for the attack. She's freaking out. She's angry. She's like in sort of like an angry rage kind of thing, and she's going after the like. This creature needs to die kind of thing. She's like really angry.
How close is the wolf to us? Is it, what range is it? Is it medium range, long range? How close is it to us?
About 20 feet.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
medium range,
pretty
roughly.
close.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure a wolf can jump
that's
that
pretty
distance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it is medium range, it's like the edge of medium range, right before it gets to close range.
Right.
Yeah. And before anyone can before Kavina could actually react onto attack. Oh, you just dodge out of the way, and it just basically jumps past you.
Okay.
It was trying to attack you guys, but you basically dodged, and yeah.
Do I roll inside? Do I roll control security or daring security now as a response?
Daring.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give that a try. I'm going to use one momentum, and I have hand-to-hand combat as a focus.
Yep.
I also have hand-to-hand combat as a focus as well.
There we go.
And you said it was what, daring and security?
Yep.
Go for the assist.
So, Corvinus gets it. Is able to kick it down to the point that it's in. Are you gonna do the show? Are you gonna do it non-lethally or lethally?
You're asking me? Ushan
Yeah.
Tor is only a lethal weapon. It's a sharp Andorian pick.
Okay, yeah. Corvinus gets it to the point that it's semi-conscious but not conscious, and you come up and literally kill it.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I have main right hook and martial artist, and I'm half Romulan.
So that's the only wolf that's in the area right now. So yeah.
All right. That presumably takes a minute. In that time, has Soth been able to get downstairs, grab his pack, and get back up to the roof, or is he still doing that?
I have vicious. Oh, sorry.
That's why I said the stab wound actually killed it, not the punches.
Lethal, yeah.
Yeah. The wolf just like Corvina's actually distracted enough for yeah. Gel to stab it.
But
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Corvina's ain't here.
when Soth... Oh, please carry on.
He's gonna be helping them both back up, or
Well, yeah, on that theme, I mean, we're a story or two up and we don't have a handy ladder, so we're going to have to come up with a solution. Fine. But that's one of the reasons why Soth has now appeared with his backpack from the stuff that he packed for the hike. And he'll open it up, start rummaging around, and he will pull out a spray, throw it down to the two of them, and silently mime spraying yourself in it. This is his odor suppressant from the stalking stuff that he packed. I'm glad I mentioned that. So to kill their smell. And it's written on the side of the canister so they know what they're spraying themselves with. And he's also going to prepare some bait. He's not going to crack it open yet so it whiffs. He's going to prepare some of the bait that he got from his pack, put it in a sock, and ready to slingshot it off in the opposite direction to where we are in an attempt to lure wolves away.
basically when they killed the wolf and the other wolves heard it, but your idea actually does work by throwing it in the opposite direction. So it just brought you some time.
Fantastic. He'll then mime, wait there / hide, and he'll go back down into the barrack room and classic solution, because I'm guessing there isn't a ladder there, he'll start stripping bed sheets and making
a reverse
rope of
prison
bed
break.
sheets. Yeah.
Yep.
Is there any kind of bushes or shrubs or anything around the building that we could conceal ourselves behind while we're covering ourselves with this scent masking solution of Soth's?
No. The buildings are so confined that you don't have any bushes
The
around.
building itself is all the cover we have.
Yeah.
Carver will she'll say I'll help you up to the top, up to the roof, basically.
Okay. Put it this way, the wolves are in the opposite direction.
Stay where you are, you should be fine.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
get up against the wall and keep your eyes peeled. Wait for Soth to throw down the rope.
Oh, okay.
You have time to get it down.
Excellent. In that case, yeah, Soth will make the sheet rope. He'll get people who are fit and able to move to help hold it up on the roof, and then throw the end down.
Yep.
So, because I'm armed, I would wave to Karava to go up the rope first, and I would protect her back, whichever way it is, I'm not sure.
Roll me a fitness security.
Okay. Oh, I have athletics as a focus.
Yes.
Yep, fitness security. I'm gonna use one momentum to increase it. 3
Yep.
dice.
What's the difficulty?
Holy cow!
You just see Corvinus just
He
basically
didn't even
do
need
a
the rope. He just vaulted over the top of the roof like Superman.
yeah. Just basically he just grabbed onto the bed sheet and just jumped up, just like yeet. Oh, plus you get 3 momentum as well.
All right. And I presume I still have time to climb up myself.
Yes.
All right. I might as well spend a momentum as well just to get an extra die. I
Yep.
don't have athletics or anything like that, so I'm just going to climb. Oh, crap.
Oh no! I might be able to help you. When
You can assist him.
I was about to say, when he can look at that complication there, but he's also got a success. I'm guessing he gets part of the way up and then starts to go down. Since
Yeah,
he's part of
you
the way
notice
up,
it.
yeah, can Soth reach down, like flop down on his belly, grab him with one hand, and try hauling him up?
Yeah.
Krav will jump onto Soft's legs to make sure he doesn't fall over.
Fantastic. I'm going to do that, and to assist in the role that is presumably likely to come, I'm going to activate my loyalty to Andoria and her traditions value, in that I do not let an Andorian die.
Yes.
Get him. That be fitness security.
Yes. You roll 1 dice.
Fair enough.
So I need to roll.
but
I need to roll fitness security again.
Yes. He's assisting you.
2 automatic successes
Oh,
for me because
crap.
of the determination. That's 2
I'm
successes for me.
I'm going to have to spend my determination to kill that complication.
You can use momentum.
You've got enough.
Okay,
It's down to
yeah,
3.
we'll just burn it. Burn the momentum.
And guy, roll fitness security. 1 dice.
Oh, sorry.
Right?
I think he's talking to Karava.
Oh,
Yeah.
I wasn't sure who she was talking to. I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
My
All
bad.
right. I'll give us the extra complication. Oh, jeez. This is a 0.
We've got 2 successes for me. We'll be fine.
Yeah. So basically, you're fine. You only needed 2 to get up, so you got an extra momentum back.
Yeah.
So you're up to 4.
hauls you over, and does not then stand up because he's thinking, there might be another gust of wind. So he is lying down. On the top.
Yes.
Yeah, is there a short wall or a railing or something that we can hang on to so we don't get blown off again, or is it just a flat
Yeah.
roof?
There should be a bit of a wall.
Soth will start by saying to Shralin and he'll say to the whole group, "Oh, that was good work. That was good work there with the Yushan Tor. Very well done. I'm impressed."
Thank you. A little surprised at how effective it was myself. First time I've ever killed with it.
Hopefully there will not be a need for it to happen again. It's been ceremonial for some time, but we keep ceremonial blades sharp for a reason.
Yeah.
Am I still on the ground?
No? Unless you were blown off the roof.
Yeah, I went down the roof, I think.
I know Karava followed me down. I didn't think there was 3 of us down there. I thought there was 2 of us.
Yeah, I followed everybody down. I'm pretty sure I did. At least I think.
There wasn't an everybody. Most people, yeah.
I mean, I got blown off the roof, and then Karava jumped after me. So,
Yeah, if you're down there, then you're already back up.
Okay.
Yeah. Because the group wouldn't leave you a man behind.
True.
Yep.
Having said that, Soth will turn to the whole group and say,
sorry.
right, we know that the systems work if they're repowered. We have two choices. We either sit here and wait until the storm passes and then hope the systems automatically reboot, or we use what remains of my bait and masking scent, taps his satchel, to distract the wolves and have a team move over to the main power plant and restart the system from there. Those are our choices. And he sort of looks to the group to see what their thoughts are.
Well, I say that we get the power back up and running. I think that is a pivotal point in making sure that our fellow Starfleet officers are safe.
what about repowering our communications panels in the building and see if we can't contact somebody that might be closer to that and see if they can't assist?
That's your problem. You don't know if they got communications either.
We won't know if we don't try.
True.
All right.
Dashing across the complex would be, in my mind, an extreme, last ditch effort. I think we ought to try and communicate, see if there's somebody else around that can help, or at least figure out what we should do next. Like running across the big open campus. We don't know how many wolves are out there. That might end well. We got lucky with one. We might not get lucky with any more.
Soth nods. Looking around, are there engineering cadets amongst us?
I'm science.
Karava's security, but she does have she's doing a minor in engineering.
Okay. What Soth will say is, well, I take Shrell's point entirely, that we should try and get the communications running. I am hesitant to rely on our android companion as a infinite power source. We don't know when it might be too much for him. But our communicators, as he taps his communicator, draw very, very little power. We might be able to fashion, with items inside the base, hand crank dynamo. And that should probably get one of the communicators working.
Upon further investigation, I am a engineer, not a science officer.
Excellent. Designated hand crank builder. Turn to. Do you think you can handle? Do you think you can take the lead on that, Tol?
I suppose I can.
Excellent. Let's get below and start salvaging the necessary pieces of kit.
Agreed.
I was gonna ask in the camping kits, is there a knife or something?
Unless you brought a knife, there isn't any. It would be still at the armory.
Okay.
The Andorians they brought their knives because it's more ceremonial.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to think. Could I make some sort of makeshift weapon then?
Yeah. There's plenty of things around.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try to do that. Well, trying to make a hand crank dynamite. Well, what was making the hand crank dynamite?
Hey, Merc.
Isla?
Where's Tanner right now?
Oh, that's a good question. I'd say he's in the staff facility. It wasn't nighttime, right?
Yeah. I would say they would have been alerted to it, and he would be over in where the main supply is, with a couple of other teachers. If you want to turn on the... Yeah, so if you want to turn on the power, you can.
Absolutely.
It would have took you a while to get over there, and all the events would have happened at the... Yeah.
You mean just roll forward and like control engineering if I can turn on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not going to make it difficult for you, no.
Have you seen me roll before?
Yeah. Yeah, you get the whole system up and running, so... And... Yeah.
I like to imagine that as we're all in the barracks attempting to make the dynamo, it's like that scene out of the Apollo film where they're working out how to put square peg round round hole kind of affair. We're just about to get it working, and then all the lights turn on.
Yeah.
Can I use a value? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear it.
Basically, teachers tell you to bunker down for the rest of the night. And I'm gonna just say it's gonna just... By the time you wake up, the storm has already passed, and they've already cleared out all the wolves. And so that means you get to have a little... basically, that should set up for the next episode, you going up the mountain hiking.
Soth will liberally restock on his scent and bait stuff because that was useful.
Yes! If you didn't do that, the wolves would have definitely went for both of them. Yep. I'm like...
He'll even make... Carry on.
I was like, yeah, he lucky he did that, because I was like, I'm like, yeah, I'll allow it. I'll let it go, because I know the wolves will go after the meal.
Yeah, Crover's gonna go to the armory, and she's gonna get a knife for a camping pack.
Okay.
I think we can assume that we'll all get, even if we don't have combat knives, as it were, we have tool-style knives, because who goes on a long hike with all sorts of things without that?
Yeah.
I would say she's gonna get both.
Yeah, so I thought when he makes his bait stuff and his scent stuff and his scent masking, he'll make way more than he needs, and he'll hand stuff out to other people on the hiking trip.
Totally gonna take it. I saw that in action.
Yep.
Having had the benefit of the effect of it, I certainly am still hanging on to the bottle he dropped me off the roof.
He'll make a sort of a humorous remark about hunts with my father paying off.
Basically, Snowball, you're able to move around as well. And Jim, you just set up the next So this is the end of this episode.
I have a question for you, Matt.
And next,
Before you
Yep.
continue, Josh is supposed to GM next episode. Josh, do you guys want to continue next episode, Josh's episode with the hike, or Josh, do you have a completely other episode that you want to try to do?
I had something else I was wanting to do. So if you want to do the hike, come back to it.
Well,
either one.
Well, I'm asking you that because if I need to know like your preparation level as far as your episode. Like if you're completely still, you know, you still don't know what you're gonna do, then I could probably easily whip something up. But if you're good, if you think you're good, then I'd rather you go ahead and do that next on the 23rd, and then the hike can be either something that's happened in between, you know, off screen, or something that we can do at a later date, another time.
May I interject real quick?
Sure.
If nobody wants to GM the hike, I would be totally willing to. I could whip something up like in 2 days.
Yeah, no problem. That's no problem. Just want to find out where Josh is as far as his session.
Yeah, we can go ahead. No, we'll just go ahead and do the hike, and then we'll come back to it. I'm not sure that do that through, and then come back, and then have what I was talking about with you happen more like at a base level.
Yeah. Okay. No problem. Go ahead, Matt.
It gives Merc more time to write it up a bit more, and